Hi guys, thanks for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is going to be on the elderly. Now, how I came about this particular topic is thanks to a lady, an elderly lady on Facebook who gave me some feedback, very keen to hear more of my thoughts and ideas about, helping her being an elderly, not being very mobile and housebound. So she's inspired me, and thank you, Nitu. This video is dedicated to you. Thank you for inspiring me to do this video. And I think this would help a lot of elderlies out there, particularly those that might be struggling a little bit. So I got this video that I've created based on things that I've learned from my own illness, but particularly from helping my dad. From what I've learned from my own healing journey, I've sort of helped my dad over the past year to actually get fitter and healthier, and I've seen the results. So that's that's part of what I want to talk about in this video. An actual example of someone that I've been, helping and working with to actually get fitter and better. So it's going to be learnings from my dad, but also things that I've learned from my own research and study, generally for health and happiness, but also looking at particularly for the elderlies. And I know I keep talking about the blue zones, and I will also reference the blue zone studies with this video. There is a lot of information out on the blue zones on the internet, so feel free to do some research yourselves, but I am going to dedicate a whole video on the blue zones because I find it's very interesting and very helpful, I think. Now, that, and also I've looked at, the current affairs of things, news articles and things like that, of what's the latest studies and research, what's working to keep the elderly happy and healthy. So I'll reference all of those, basically the knowledge that I've gained from all of that. So, and also, as with a lot of the videos, I'm going to talk about it from the COVID umbrella. So what I mean by that is COVID is affecting all of us around the world, and it has changed the way we live life, and it has significant impact on our health and happiness, and restrictions to what we are able to do on a normal day versus after COVID. Okay, so I am going to also talk about that because I think that's necessary for every one of us. Now, so one thing that I've learned from research and studies was, as we retire, as we get older and retire, it's a great age to look forward to. We all want to retire, stop working, but what happens when we retire? There's been a lot of challenges with the elderlies, because especially for those that are workaholics and been used to working a lot, for many, many years, and all of a sudden they stop working, they've retired, and they don't know what to do with themselves. So there's been a lot of elderly retirees that have been going into depression or having more health issues, psychological issues, because of just not, having a lifestyle habit of working. And all of a sudden you have all this time, and a lot of things are brought. When you have a lot of time on your hands, the mind becomes quite active. So there's a lot of challenges with retirees, finishing work. So there's been a lot of these issues that I've just mentioned that a lot of retirees are experiencing. And a big one is loneliness and isolation. That's a big one, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. So there are challenges to, on top of being, the usual body, getting older, aging challenges, the physical health challenges, there's mental health challenges as well, particularly as we stop working. So now I'm just going to break it down in different points. So the first thing we can do for being healthy and happy, as we age, and particularly as we're quite old, is to keep the mind active. Okay, I'm bringing that as number one, but they're all important. But keeping the mind active, because there's a lot of illnesses, mental health illnesses like dementias, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, etc. So, there's ways to, prevent a lot of illnesses. And one thing we can do is keep the mind active. Again, how do we do that? Okay, there's a number of ways we can do that. So I'm just going to give a general advice, but then I'm also going to, in this video, talk about like different circumstances. For example, this lady that I've dedicated the video to is housebound. So we have to look at how can we do things that I'm going to mention in a situation where we can't really get out and be mobile, out of the house and be mobile. So getting back to keeping the mind active. So if you are an elderly and you've got access to the computers and you were, tech savvy enough to surf the internet, etc., there's a lot of games, a lot of things on the internet that you can use to exercise the muscles in the mind. So, or you can have a puzzle book, a physical book where you can do puzzles. So these are, one way to keep the mind active. But anything where we're learning new things is good for the mind. Okay, it's growing new cells and keeping memory, logical, and then I'm going to get into detail in another video on the specifics of the mind. But anything where we're using our mind, not calculate so much, but problem solving, learning new things, big ones. So and it's always good if you learn new things that you enjoy. So if there's someone out there that really into learning a language that you never wanted to learn, this is something you can do easily on the internet. Okay, so learn a new language, or if you're not tech savvy, or if you're not don't know much about the internet, just get a book and learn, read new books. Reading is great. If you can read, that's great. So there are all different ways that we can keep the mind active. So one thing my dad does, my dad spends a lot of time with my little one, and I'm going to talk about that soon, how that's really good for the elderly, is, he helps the little one to do different puzzles and work out different. So that's not growing just her mind and developing her mind, but it's also keeping dad's mind active as well. So there is a lot of ways to keep the mind active, and that is learning, reading, playing games, playing a game of chess. Perfect. Okay, so there's a lot of things there, and keeping the mind active. Now, number two, I'm going to talk about keep the body active. Now, this is for the whole everyone, but this video is about elderly, so I'm going to just focus on that. Keeping the body active. So cardio is good. Now, the challenge with being an elderly is we're not as mobile. We've got a lot of, we can have a lot of wear and tear of the body by the time we reach that age. The knees is a big one, hips, all sorts of issues. So you have to work with whatever in your current circumstances, with your current body, whatever it is able to do. So you have to customize the exercise to your body. And this is my general advice, or my general tip to everybody. Okay, so everybody's body is different, health is different, fitness is different. So for example, if you got some sort of spine issues, you customize the exercise to that. Knee issues, customize the exercise to that. And there's a lot of videos on the internet, and there's help out there to help you customize the exercise. The fitness area is something that I can give general advice, but I have a lot to say, but I don't have the qualifications right now. So once I do, I'll get be able to teach more around the specific fitness exercises. Okay, so keeping the body active, cardio is good. Low impact. Okay, so low impact I feel is very important for the elderly, because the joints are something, with age, there's a lot of wear and tear. So keep the exercises low impact. So you're not going to be, going around running. If you're able to, if it's all good, go ahead. We want to look after the knees. Now, I got Dad to get a treadmill. So he does a lot of walking on the treadmill and outside. So perfect for indoors if you're stuck at home. treadmill is good. If you got issues with knees, you can. I just got myself an exercise bike, a really good, steady, durable one. And that's perfect to get the whole body moving. Sorry, I've got that one with the hands as well. So it's a really good investment. So it's keeping the whole body moving. The blood is circulating. The most important thing there is it's low impact. So the knees is very safe, and it's very low impact on the knees. So that's another idea. If you're stuck at home, you're an elderly and you need to move around, you need to be active. An exercise bike, and you can watch television, you can learn a new language while you're doing that as well. So I like to watch and learn things, whether on the phone or the TV as I do the exercise. Okay, so if you can walking out in outdoors is brilliant. It's really good if you're able to do that. Gardening is something that you could do, which a lot of old, elderlies and cultures around the world are doing, and that's really, really good because not only are you moving around, it is really good for us to be in nature. Touching the earth, soil, growing things. It's very healthy and really good for our well-being for all ages. Okay. So these are just some ideas. Swimming is another one. So you can do swimming. It's another very low impact exercises. And if you can, please go for it. That's a good one. Stretching. So I'm a yoga meditation teacher, and I'm always going to talk about the benefits of stretching. So doing yoga and is really good. So that really keeps us keep us flexible. But I think when it comes to the elderly, I want to call out balance. Yoga is really good for balance. And I think as we age, not only do we lose flexibility, muscles, we also lose our balance. Okay, so yoga can help you with flexibility, balance, etc. And there's lots of videos on the internet about yoga for elderly. And when I get a time, I will do a video myself on yoga and meditation for the elderly as well. Okie dokie. So we've got that. Okay, muscles is something that we lose as we age. My dad's just got, he's really lost a lot of muscles. He's in his 70s. And, there's just flabby skin left. So it's natural. However, I truly feel if you maintain the body well, the body was going to go far. So if you can do body weights exercises, some resistance, again, specific to elderly, there's a lot of workout videos on the internet for elderlies. I think it's good to do some weights, okay, catered to your body and your condition, and also eat the right food, protein foods, etc. So food and exercise, they go hand in hand. You have to eat good protein food to build the muscles, and then you got to do resistance to build the muscles as well. So that's for the muscles, and I think that's important to call that out because that's something that really does happen as we age. Okay, so strength, that's muscles. Okay, so we want to maintain the strength as well. Third, and a really, really, really important one, socially active. Okay, so socially active, by that I mean spending time socializing with family and friends. Okay, so that's, there's a lot of clubs that the elderly can join in with hobbies where it doesn't have to be family and friends. It can be people that are like-minded, that are into the same hobby. So you can go and get together and do things together that you enjoy. Okay, so, and family and friends is really important. And this is for all ages, but particularly as we age and in the environment of COVID, where we are isolated, or if you're in a lockdown, it is really important to be safe. So, depending on the level of lockdown, how much interactions you're having with outside, if it's safe, please spend time with family and friends. Let them know, it's nice to have visitors, and do it in a safe way. So if you're in lockdown, if there's an outbreak of COVID, please be safe, please isolate, but you can use the phone. And now there's FaceTime and there's technology out there to be able to do video chats. Okay. Some, talking on the phone, having a video chat is better than no communication at all. okay, in a COVID environment. But if you're not affected by COVID, please get together as much as you can with family and friends and grandchildren. If you're blessed with grandchildren, it is amazing for your health, your well-being, as well as the little children's health and well-being. So I have looked at, not just my own experience with my parents and my little one. I see how they feel so joyful and happy being around the little one, and it's the same thing. The little one is really happy to see grandparents. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win for me to get a break as well. So grandchildren are great medicine, great therapy for elderlies. And everything in balance. So if you're getting way too tired from little children, you have to take rest. So everything in balance, yeah. So so grandchildren are great therapy, and there's a lot of research and study out there to say that there is a definite positive impact on elderly grandparents for spending time with little grandkids, okay, or grandkids. And as I mentioned before, you're growing the mind as well by problem solving together, learning together. Okay, so we've talked about socially active, social interaction, time with family and friends is really good, and time with a club where you're dancing, really good. So speaking of dancing, the blue zones, and I have to call out, these are 100-year-olds, and they looked at why are they so healthy and happy. One of the big ones is the social. They are socially active. They are very social. Neighbors, friends, family, kids, they're dancing together, they're interacting together. So this is something that is, again, proven with a lot of studies to be very, very good for you. Okay, so that's that. Goes without saying, good food, fresh food. If you're gardening, growing your own food, that's the best. It's even better. But try to eat healthy food, less processed, less modified. Fruits and vegetables is really, really good. The fresher, the better. Okay, and so, food and rest. So as I said, balance, being active, but everything has to balance out, the activity with the rest. So please rest when you feel your body's tired, when your mind is tired. I'm a meditation teacher, so if there's a lot of tools on the internet, videos about meditation, please, try it out. Meditation is really good to rest the mind. Okay, so you can sleep and nap for the body, meditate for the mind. So speaking of naps, it's good to have the Mediterranean, they have siestas. The South America, they have siestas for a reason, and we call these nana naps. There's something as nana nap. There's a reason for that. It's for the elderly to take an afternoon nap or whatever, to just rejuvenate the body. Okay, so I take nana naps now because I think it's quite healing, and given all what I'm going, my healing journey, I need good amount of rest with the activity that I'm doing as well. Okay, so gonna call out water. Drink lots of water, keep the body hydrated. Sunshine, it's really good for all of us. So water, good food, sunshine, company, a lot of these things are really good for all of us, but I'm just going to focus on the elderly here as to what we can do and what's really good for us as we age. And this last, health checkup. So keep up with your health checkup. So you're on top of if you got diabetes, cholesterol, pressure, keep the health checkup and keep on top of those things. Okay, so I think I've covered everything today. Feel free to please leave a feedback on what anything that I've mentioned in the video. If you got any other ideas, please, I'd love to hear them. So I'm going to call this part 1, and I'll do another part 2, part 3. As if I learn any new information, I'm going to keep creating videos on elderly as well. So come back, watch this space for more videos on the elderly. But I hope this video has provided some help, some benefit, and given you some ideas on how you can keep healthy and happy as you age, particularly if you're quite elderly, housebound, stuck in the house or isolated, there's always things we can do. Okay. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you for your time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.